how much somebody who is risk averse is willing to give up. How much are they willing to pay so that they don't have to take the risk? Okay. The formula is pretty straightforward. It's the risk. Well, the formula is straightforward, but then there's steps. The risk premium is the difference between the expected value and something called the certainty equivalent. And the certainty equivalent is basically just the amount of guaranteed money that somebody would have to take to be just as satisfied as the gamble. And just when I say it like that, I know it doesn't make a lot of sense, but you'll see with this example that it'll come together nicely, I believe. So this is our case. Marco is considering quitting his job that currently pays him $80,000 a year. So he doesn't have to do that. He can stay at his job. He has an $80,000 guaranteed. He believes that there's a 60% chance that he finds a job that pays him $100,000 and a 40% chance that he finds a new job that only pays him $60,000. So that's risky, right? He is risk averse because his utility function is a square root, and we know that a square root is actually a power half, so it's less than 1. I know he's risk averse. So let's go through the steps. First step is always to find the expected outcome of the gamble. So the expected salary would be, you take the probability as we did before. So 60% chance that he makes 100K. So 0.6 times 100,000. And there's a 40% chance that he only makes 60,000, right? So that's 60,000 plus 24,000 is 84,000. So it's better than his current job, but it's not certain. So we're not going to base our decision on that. If he was risk neutral, the question would be over. Yes, he's definitely going to quit his job because it has a higher expected value. There would be no risk premium because it doesn't exist for somebody who's risk neutral. Next, I want to go over the standard deviation. So to find the standard deviation, we first find the variance, right? Because we need to square root the variance. And to find the variance, the formula is the sum of the probability multiplied by the outcome minus the expected value squared. So that means the first probability is 0.6. The related outcome to that is 100,000 minus the expected value of 84 squared, plus the next probability is 0.4. The related outcome to 0.4 is 60,000, and the average is 84. The variance is 384 million, but then if you square root that, it's about 19,595.92. That is your standard deviation. That is, if we had to measure risk, that is the risk. So now what is expected utility, right? So expected utility, the way that you should do this, again, you can do it however you want, but the way I like to do it is just all in one shot. Expected utility is the sum of the probability. So you take your probability and you multiply that by the utility function, but plug in the outcome. So essentially, imagine this here. You're using the same exact numbers, the 0.4, the 60K, all the same numbers. But here, you're taking this number and plugging it into the utility function. So it looks like this. 0.6 times the root of 100K. 0.4 times the root of 60K. And that is your expected utility. Because the utility you get from 100,000 is the square root of 100,000, and the utility that you get from 60,000 is the square root of 60,000. And so that expected utility, that average utility, is about 287.72. Okay. The certainty equivalent. The way that you find the certainty equivalent is by taking your expected utility and setting it equal to your utility curve, your utility function. So if I take that 287.72 and I set it equal to the square root of income, solve for income. So we're going to square this side to get rid of that root. 82,780. So now let's talk about, for a second, what this actually means. A certainty equivalent is the risk-free amount that would make this person just as happy as the risky amount. So the risky amount is 84,000. This entire experiment of quitting his job to go out and find another job, right, has an expected value of 84 with a utility of 287. Well, we found that if I were to give this person $82,780.64 guaranteed, they would be just as satisfied, even if it's less money. That's the certainty equivalent. The amount, and if you go back to the way I wrote the definition, it is the guaranteed amount of money that gives the same utility as the risky gamble. So the risk premium, guys, is the difference between the expected value, the 84, and that number. So that's 1,219.36. Basically, he's willing to give up this much to remove the risk. Remember what I said the risk premium is, right? The definition is the amount that a risk-averse person is willing to pay or to give up in order not to take the risk. So if he takes the risk, right, his expected value is 84. He's willing to not take the risk and get 82,780. So if his boss were to say, hey, at his current job, hey, I'll just give you 82,000, I'll give you a raise of like $2,780, he would definitely stay at his job. And now the last bit I want to go over is how do we actually show this on a graph? Okay, so you maybe will get asked to do this, maybe not, but just in case, let's go over it. To show this on a graph, so the y-axis is utility, or no, it's utility, and this is his income. First thing you want to do is go and plot. Well, I guess we're gonna have to calculate a few things. So make a little table. I need if he makes 100K, what his utility is. If he makes 60K, what his utility is. We know that at 82,780, we know his utility would be 287.72. That one we already have. So I'm going to just find the square root of 100,000 because that's how you find his utility function was the square root of his income. So utility was just square root of income. So this is 316.2. And this one is 244.9. Okay. So we're going to go and plot all this in. And we're going to try and do this really nicely so that we can get a decent picture. So I'll do let's see. 100 here, 200 here, so 300 here. For income, we need to get to 100K. So let's go maybe 5, 10. Okay, we'll put 100,000 over here. So this is 25,000, 50,000, 75,000. Okay. So at 100,000, his utility would be 316. So that would be roughly here. Okay, right here. So I'll put a point right here. This is $100,000 of income with about 316 utility. At 60,000, which if this is 50, 55, 60 is on this line, his utility is 244, which would be roughly on this line. Okay. At 82,780, so 82,000, so 70, 80 is about there. Oops. So it's roughly on this line. It doesn't have to be perfect. 287 would be sort of here. Okay. So you see, I'm not trying to connect all three. I'm only connecting the two possible outcomes of the gamble. And right in between them, you've got the 84,000 of right here, okay, is basically your 84,000 expected value. So what this person's utility function does, technically it's round like this, or it's curving or concave, whatever you want to call it, because they are risk averse. And so I'm going to put a point here, and then I just draw a line between these two. This line represents the risk premium. So this 84,000 here, that's 84,000 income with 287 utility. This point here is 82,000 of income, 82,780, also with 287 of utility. This point here is $100,000 of income with 316 utility. And this point here is 60,000 of income with 244 utility. And this is how we illustrate basically that this person would be just as happy here, right? Because they have the exact same amount of utility as that point. Same utility, right? And so, but without any risk. So that gap between them is that risk premium of about $1,200. So that's how you show the red line. The straight red line represents the gamble. The curved black line represents their utility curve. Okay. So that's that. And I guess one extra question maybe that they could ask is, well, what do you think this person's going to end up doing? Are they going to quit their job, or are they going to stay at their job? The answer is that they would actually quit their job. Why? Because 80,000 is less than 82. So they're willing to give up $1,200 not to take the risk of quitting their job, but they're not willing to give up more than that. So if I were to take the expected value of the gamble minus their current salary, that's 4,000. This is more than the risk premium. This is more than they're willing to pay to not take the risk. And so in that case, they would take the risk. And that's why I said earlier, if their boss came in and said, okay, well, I'll just give you a raise of 3,000. Now they would say, okay, now I'm going to stay. Because at, anything above 82,780, they would be more satisfied staying at the job. Okay. So that's the end of that. Cool. Great. So now we could, I think we'll split it again here. We'll stop the video here. You guys can review that a little bit, and then you can go and watch chapter 15.